for joining us. Thank you for joining us, viewer, on Unity Global News. Today is Tuesday, 26th September 2023, equivalent to the 11th of Rabiul Awwal, 1445 after Hijrah, and these are the headlines. On Eid al-Mawlud, federal government declares Wednesday as public holiday. On strike, Labour accuses federal government of delay. NLC Exco meets today. Police begin search for kidnapped Benue commissioner. To come your way on the following scene, 3 dead, 15 missing after Guatemalan river sweeps away homes. In sports, champions to receive 150 million as NPFL resumes September 30. Those were the headlines, and for their details and other stories, my name is Shuaibu Muhammad Doro. The federal government has declared Wednesday, 27 September 2023 as a public holiday. This is to commemorate the Eid al-Mawlud celebration, the birth of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, according to the Minister of Interior, Olubomi Tonji Ojo. While making the declaration in Abuja on Monday, he congratulated all Muslim faithful both at home and in the diaspora for this year's occasion. He admonished Nigerians to imbibe the spirit of love, patience, tolerance, and perseverance, which are deep spiritual virtues that the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, exemplified. The Honorable Minister, Dr. Olubomi Tonji Ojo, has urged Nigerians, especially youths, to embrace the virtues of hard work and peaceful disposition to fellow humans, irrespective of faith, ideology, social class, and ethnicity, and join hands with the President Bola Tinubu administration in its effort to build a progressive and enviable nation that all citizens will be proud of. The minister wishes all Muslim faithful a joyful celebration. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Judge Akwai, has said the federal government will soon unveil the audit report of probe of the Central Bank of Nigeria. President Bola Tinubu had on July 28, 2023, named a former Chief Executive Officer of the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, Jim Obazi, as the special investigator for the CBN. The president asked the special investigator to probe the CBN and key government business entities, adding that the investigator would report directly to the president's office. However, the SGF said on Monday that the probe report of the CBN, when made public, would reveal how poor governance brought the country to the present predicament. Akwai made the disclosure while fielding questions at a press conference in Abuja on the 63rd independence anniversary of Nigeria. According to him, the report will enable Nigerians to know what really went wrong and how the country got to its present situation. And moving on to some labor matters, the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, has accused the federal government of delaying the negotiations on post-subsidy palliatives for workers 4 months after the removal of the fuel subsidy, which has compounded the hardships in the country. In response to the perceived lethargy of the government, the organized labor will on Tuesday, that is today, hold an emergency National Executive Council meeting where it will take decisions on its next steps. The NEC comprises all presidents, general secretaries, treasurers of all NLC's affiliate unions, state chairpersons and secretaries of the NLC state councils, chairperson of the NLC Youth Committee, and members of the National Administrative Council. A top official of the NLC who spoke with newsmen on Monday hinted that the Congress might take drastic action to compel the FG to return to the negotiation table. The Senate will today, Tuesday, screen the acting governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Dr. Olayemi Cardoso, for confirmation into its substantive capacity alongside 4 nominees for the positions of the CBN deputy governors, namely Mrs. M.M. Nnana Usoro, Mr. Muhammad Sani Abdullahi Tijo, Mr. Philip Ikeazo, and Dr. Bala M. Bello to steer the affairs of the Apex Bank in the next 5 years. The Red Chamber, which is returning from its 2-month annual vacation, has also scheduled the screening of 2 additional ministerial nominees by President Bola Tinubu for Tuesday, October 3rd, 2023. The media office of the Senate leader, Senator Akwai, disclosed this in a statement on Monday evening. While the National Assembly was on break, the President appointed the duo of Dr. Jamila Ibrahim and Ayodele Olawande as Minister of Youth and Minister of State for Youth, respectively. Tinubu also approved the nomination of Cardoso as the new Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, pending his confirmation by the Senate. Last week, Cardoso resumed as the CBN governor in an acting capacity pending his screening and expected confirmation by the Senate. We take you to Benue State, where the State Police Command has said that it has begun a search for the kidnapped State Commissioner for Information, Culture and Tourism, Mr. Matthew Abo, who was abducted on Sunday by a gunman. The spokesperson for the State Police Command, Catherine Anene, who disclosed this on Monday, said the command was doing everything possible to rescue the kidnapped commissioner. Abo was kidnapped on Sunday night by some gunmen who invaded his house at Zaki Biam, headquarters of Ukum local government area of the state. The commissioner was said to have been at home with his family members when the gunmen came on 4 motorcycles and found their way into his living room. Meanwhile, the state governor, Reverend Hyacinth Alia, in a statement issued by his media aide, Kula Terisu, said on Monday that the abductors of the commissioner had yet to establish contact with the victims' family members. A section of the Supreme Court comprising about 3 offices was gutted by fire on Monday. The spokesperson of the court, Dr. Festus Akande, said the fire was caused by an electrical fault. He dispelled speculations that the appeal recently filed by the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, and his Labour Party counterpart, Peter Obi, challenging the election of President Bola Tinubu were raised by the fire. But the PDP expressed suspicion about the fire, calling for a full-scale probe. A statement on Monday by its National Publicity Secretary, Debo Ologunagba, the opposition party, said the attack might be with an intent to cripple and frustrate the Supreme Court from effectively discharging its constitutional duties, especially with high-profile electoral cases, including the presidential election appeals pending before the court. The spokesperson for the police, SP Josephine Ade, however, said the details of the properties destroyed by the fire had yet to be ascertained. The Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, MACBAN, has described the recent gruesome killing of Ardo Adamu Idris Gabdo in Panyam village of Mangu local government area of Plateau State as an unfortunate tragedy and a setback to the peace process in the state. MACBAN Chairman, Plateau State Chapter, Nuru Muhammad, while speaking with Unity FM's correspondent Ibrahim Idris Bodamasi in Jos, the Plateau State capital, condemned the dastardly act, saying that they were yet to recover the corpse of the deceased. He, however, appealed to his kinsmen to remain law-abiding as security agencies had begun the processes of recovering the corpse of the deceased and manhunt for the perpetrators to face the full wrath of the law.
So it is a very big tragedy to us, and it's a very big setback to the peace process in the state entirely. We are calling on especially the youths. They should calm down and give us the benefit of doubt, because the security are up and doing in the recovery of the dead body, and they vote that they will do everything possible to fish out the culprits and bring them to book.
The deceased, who was the Ardo of Panyam community in Mangu, was reportedly murdered by criminal elements on Saturday while returning from a peace meeting with some local community leaders in the area. And that story takes us to the foreign scene. A child and 2 other people were found dead on Monday after a sewage-polluted river swollen by heavy rains swept away precarious homes in the Guatemalan capital, authorities said. 9 children were among the 15 people still missing after the river gushed through the Dios es Fiel shanty town in the early morning hours, according to the Conrad Disaster Relief Agency. The Naranjo River washed away 6 homes in an informal settlement erected under a bridge in the center of Guatemala City. Conrad spokesperson Rodolfo Garcia told reporters the country has a housing deficit of about 2 million units, according to the Guatemalan Chamber of Construction and the Anacovi Builders Association. The rainy season, which runs from May to November, has this year claimed 29 lives so far, affected some 2.1 million people, of whom more than 10,000 lost their homes, and destroyed 4 roads and 9 bridges. We'll now look at some sports stories. The 20 clubs in the Nigeria Premier Football League will get a take-off grant of 10 million naira each, as the organizers announced that the 2023-2024 season will begin on Saturday, September 30, after double postponement, just as the prize money for the season has been increased from 100 million naira to 150 million naira. This comes almost 3 weeks after its last postponement, which was indefinite. In a circular sent to all the clubs and signed by the Chief Operating Officer of the league, Davidson Awumi, the NPFL board said the league was commencing with the hope of securing the deals which forced its postponement. And that sports story brings us to the end of the news.